Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for this amazing opportunity and this platform to be able to speak to all of you. My name is Tadzie Madzima, and I'm actually talking to you all the way from Munich in Germany. I've been here for the past a week or so. I'm here for an international conference, a global conference that talks about technology and development. And it's been an amazing week. I'm looking forward to coming back home. I'm actually supposed to come back today, but I am still in Germany. So this is why I am not able to join you in person as much as I would have loved to be there with you in person. So I am the founder of Ignite Youth Organization. I'm the founder and director, and Ignite Youth Organization helps young people to discover their purpose and to live it with passion. So I'm supposed to talk to you today about the importance of leadership. Leadership. Whenever I hear about leadership, I realize that it's not a title. So leadership in itself is not a title. It is not an event. What it is a process. Leadership is a process. From the time that you're still young, you begin to exhibit those or to learn leadership skills. It's not like you just all of a sudden become a leader, because leadership is responsibility. Leadership is responsibility. So if you are not responsible, you cannot be a leader. If you're not accountable, you cannot be a leader. There are certain things, that habits and traits, qualities and skills that you have to develop for you to be a leader. And sometimes you find that it's not necessarily that people who get titles of leadership that actually end up being amazing leaders. But usually the leadership is just something that you nurture, you grow inside of you, and you're intentional about your leadership growth. So as I mentioned, leadership is a process. So what does it take to be a leader? First and foremost, leadership is a responsibility. As I said, to be a leader means you need to be responsible. It means that you need to lead by example. What that means is that you can't expect for us to follow you if you're not exhibiting the qualities that make you want us to follow you, right? Leadership is a responsibility. So it's not just about having a title. It's about embodying the values, the behaviors, the traits that make you a leader. What are some of those things? First and foremost, as I said, sometimes it's not necessarily that those who are leaders know that they're even leaders. They might not even know they're leaders, but they embody the traits of a leader. So I don't want us to get stuck on the idea of, you've got to have a title for you to be a leader. You don't have to have a title. You can be a leader and not even have a title. So what entails leadership? The first thing is that as a leader, you should nurture certain habits. You should nurture certain habits as a leader. And the habits I'm talking about are habits such as teamwork, communication, project management, and all of that. Those are habits that you nurture, because that's what gets the team going. If you look even when it comes to animals, wolves, when they're moving in packs, the one that is called the alpha is trusted to be the alpha because they're going to make sure that, they've got the skills of teamwork, of communication, and so forth. So it's the same thing with us. You can't be a leader if you do not know how to work with other people. You cannot be a leader if you do not know how to communicate. You cannot be a leader if you do not know how to, deal with conflict. So these are certain things that you need to nurture, skills, right? The second thing is you must be open to development, constantly developing, constantly learning. Are you open to constant growth and constant development? If you're not, then that makes it very difficult for you to be a leader. Because being a leader means you're always seeking to improve and become a better version of yourself. You're constantly looking at opportunities for you to improve. And that means that part of that comes with being willing to accept feedback and being willing to accept tough feedback. Because not everyone is going to say nice things to you. Not all of the feedback that you're going to get is going to be rosy and nice. As a leader, you've got to be ready to receive tough feedback. As a leader, I feel that it's important that you be a person who has people at heart. Leadership is responsibility. It's not selfishness. Leadership is putting others before yourself. If you're a selfish person, you cannot be a leader. Because leadership is all about serving, right? It's all about serving. Do you serve others? Are you willing to go out of your way to serve other people? If you're not able to serve other people, then why are you a leader? Because leadership is about leading someone. If you have no followers, then you're not a leader. A leader is someone who has people who follow them, right? So if you have people that are following you, my question to you is, how are you embodying the values of leadership to those that are following you, right? So I do believe that these are things that we need to think about, right? As we're talking about leadership. Right? We need to think about all of these things that I mentioned. And I think what I'm simply trying to get to is that you might have your ideas of what leadership is, but it's work. And if you're not ready to work, then you're not ready to be a leader. You can only be a leader if you are ready to work, right? If you're ready to put in the work, if you're ready to roll up your sleeves and get your hands dirty, then you can be called a leader, right? You're ready to serve, you're ready to listen, and all of that. And a leader always steps up to the plate. When I look back on my leadership journey, I didn't just start as the director or founder of Ignite. I started off serving other people in church, being part of the youth ministry, being part of the church, and doing the mundane task, the task that nobody else wanted. So you don't start by just leading people. You start by following a leader, right? You've got to learn to follow someone. You've got to learn the importance of following leadership and submitting to leadership for you to be an effective leader. Because the problem that happens is that many of us want to lead, but we have actually never followed anyone. So we don't actually know what it takes to be a leader, because we have never actually followed. So we don't know, how to serve. So you don't start by being a leader. You start by being a follower, and you follow. And you, by following, you learn and you humble yourself. And through that process of humbling yourself and learning to follow and follow instructions and all of that, you become a leader. Right? That's how leadership works. It's not a get quick. It's not a get quick scheme to leadership. Right? You don't just get straight to leadership and you become a leader. You've got to be willing to put in the work, because leadership is work. It's what it is. It's work. And so, don't just want to be a leader for the sake of wanting to be a leader. Leadership comes with responsibility. It comes with accountability. We will hold you accountable as a leader. We will hold you accountable for the decisions you make. This is why you find that pastors cannot just get away with certain things, because if you're a pastor, you cannot say that you are preaching and saying people should not fornicate and things like that, and yet you're busy maybe committing adultery. You understand what I'm saying? So leadership is responsibility, and it is not for everyone. If you cannot embody the values, the principles that come with leadership, then you're not ready for leadership. You're not ready, because leadership is responsibility, it's accountability, and it's even sacrifice. It's even sacrifice, right? So you've got to understand that you've also got to sacrifice yourself sometimes for the team, for the pack, right? For the work to continue, right? So are we ready for leadership? Are we ready for it? I know we all want to be leaders, but leadership is not easy. Leadership is not easy. But what's the most important thing about leadership is to understand the role that comes with being a leader. And I want to emphasize that as much as you should have all these qualities, right? you must be a leader that has a purpose. Okay, you must be a leader. When you're leading people, they're following you because you've got a vision, right? The responsibility for articulating what that vision is on you as a leader, right? You're supposed to embody and understand the vision so that everyone is able to follow you down the path of that vision, right? So if you don't have a vision, then what are you leading people towards? The most important thing for a leader is to have a vision and to believe in that vision, and then to make sure that everybody understands what that vision is, right? Where are we going? What are we trying to achieve? And who plays what part and what role in the pursuit of this ultimate vision, right? So as leaders, as aspiring leaders and as leaders, I want you to understand that you have to have a vision, and that vision comes from purpose. It comes from purpose. Without a purpose, you cannot what? You cannot have a vision. Because purpose is what directs vision. Are you praying about your purpose? The purpose that God has put upon your life. Because everybody has got a purpose. Okay? Everyone has got a purpose. So are you praying about it? Have you sought the purpose giver? The purpose giver is God. Have you sought his direction? Have you spoken to him and asked him, what is the purpose and what is the vision that he has placed upon your life? So my encouragement to you is that purpose gives you vision, right? And then you articulate the vision to your team. Purpose is the reason for which you exist, the calling that you have, and what you're supposed to fulfill whilst you're here on earth, the mission that you've been given by God, right? We all have got a mission. When we were born, we had a mission, right? You're still alive. If you hold your chest right now, you feel that heartbeat, it's a sign. It's a sign that your heart is beating because you've got a purpose, because you are here on earth for a reason, right? So my question is, do you know why you're here? Do you know why you're here? And you need to be able to determine that in order for you to live a fulfilling life and for you to be able to make the impact that you're supposed to make on this world. So as visionaries, as leaders, let's make sure that we understand our purpose, because the vision is easier to execute when it's grounded in purpose, as opposed to just having a vision for anything, because there's so many visions that you can have. But the most important thing is that you should have a vision that's grounded in your purpose on earth. Okay. And I think those are the main things that I would like to share with you. There's two more things that I'd like to share, and I apologize for scratching my nose. I've actually got a bit of a cold, so I've developed a cold whilst I am here in Germany. I'm sure that it will get better once I'm back home. But I think what I wanted to talk to you all about is now about a growth mindset. A growth mindset and a fixed mindset are two different things. A fixed mindset is a mindset where if things don't go your way, you fail or things like that, the world comes to an end. But a growth mindset is a mindset that sees things in a certain way. It's a mindset that sees life in a certain way, right? A growth mindset is constantly growing, improving, learning, open to developing and becoming better, and not getting stuck on failure. The problem is, if you're someone who's got a fixed mindset, you cannot be a leader, because your thoughts, your opinions, and whatever you feel is going to be challenged by the people that follow you. And life will also throw you challenges. So you've got to be ready to learn and open to the idea of learning. If you're not open to the whole idea of learning, and if you're not open to the idea of growth, then you cannot be a leader. You cannot be a leader, right? Leadership comes from responsibility and understanding that you've got a responsibility. And part of that is being teachable, right? Being teachable. You've got to be someone who is teachable. All right. I only have about 5 more minutes left. The last thing I'm going to talk about is strengths and weaknesses. So you need to know that, understand your strengths, and you need to understand your weaknesses as a leader. Once you understand your strengths and weaknesses, then you are able to then develop yourself, because you know where you need to work on, and you know the areas where your weaknesses are. So as a leader, always be aware of what are my strengths and what are my weaknesses, right? Understand that, and then help yourself to learn how to overcome your weaknesses. In the Bible, the mighty men of God like David had weaknesses, and those weaknesses almost destroyed his calling. Unfortunately, your weakness can destroy you if you do not deal with your weaknesses. Understand your weaknesses, pray about your weaknesses, and help God to push you through your weaknesses, because your weakness can destroy your calling as a leader. You will be your own downfall because of your weakness. So my encouragement is that learn your weaknesses. Your strengths are good for you to know, because you know where to employ your strengths where it's necessary. But your weaknesses can come and hinder you. Samson was almost destroyed because of his weaknesses. So understand that weaknesses will be part and parcel of your life, but you need to be intentional about addressing your weaknesses so that they do not hinder you from your calling and from your leadership. Lastly, everything in life boils down to prayer, right? It boils down to prayer. You need to pray. Leadership is a difficult journey. It's a difficult journey, and it can be lonely. It can be lonely. So as a leader, pray and meditate on the word of God. Your mental health matters as a leader, right? Don't just think that you have to be tough all the time. I know that leadership comes with responsibility and all the other things that I said, but you must also care about your mental health as a leader. You must prioritize your mental health as a leader. That means that you must be someone who is spiritual, right? You must pray, you must find yourself, you must nurture habits that will help you to keep you, in a good place mentally, because if you don't, you are going to fall. Okay, you're going to fall. So take care of your mental health, journal, pray, meditate, take time off if you need to, but also make sure that your relationship with God, He who has given you the purpose and He who is the ultimate leader, is strong, because only God can be the one that can really strengthen your calling, right? Because He's the one who gave you. Strengthen your heart when it's weak, because there'll be many moments of weakness in this life, many moments of crying, many moments of pain, many moments of depression, many moments of sadness, many moments where you are challenged as a leader, many moments where you feel like giving up, many moments. Sometimes they say it's a very lonely journey. Find your tribe, find your community, find people that you're close to that you can trust. Don't be alone all the time as a leader. Find people, mentors, right? Prayer partners. Remember, I said that leadership is not a one-stop journey where you just start and you don't grow. As a leader, you must have mentors. You must have people that pray with you, walk with you, teach you, counsel you, guide you, and so forth, right? Okay. All right. I think we've shared everything. I will pray for you that you will be a great leader in everything you do. You're close to my heart. My name is Tadzie Madzima. Kindly, please follow me on Instagram. My Instagram account is Tadzie Madzima Official. I'll really appreciate it. And I hope that we will get an opportunity to meet again. My number is 0734 542 026. If you need further advice, I'm available. And I wish you all the best. Thank you so much to all those who planned this amazing event. Thank you, Tintin. You're amazing. You're a great leader. And thank you to all of you who are watching me speak today. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.